Morning, folks. Welcome to my channel. It's Ann. I'm up here in the southern Adirondacks at one of the historical museums. And they have a nice little walking path here across from it. So I thought I'd come over here today. Actually was supposed to be on my camping trip, but the weather said rain all week, and we canceled our plans. And I do see some ominous looking clouds out there. So hopefully I can get this walk in before it starts raining. And it's like about 60 degrees and windy. And today I wanted to talk about, now I know when I started this channel I told you that I just ramble, but lately I've been putting in some helpful tips, and when I research them they help me too. So believe me, when I say these, it's not because I got it down pat. I'm learning it. I'm learning it with you folks. A lot of you know it, but I'm learning it with you folks that don't know it. So it helps me to learn it and repeat it, and helps all of us. But anyway, it's 7 hacks how to deal with your cravings. Yesterday we talked about the different kind of stresses and things that could happen. Fatigue, boredom. And today we're going to talk about what we can do when we get one of those stresses. So, number 1 is to name it. Give it a name. Is it from boredom? Call him Boredom Bob. Listen, Boredom Bob, that's not happening today. Go away, come back later. Like that. And you know, that sounds pretty logical to do, because you connect with the craving and you know exactly where it came from and what it's all about. And so they say that that is very helpful, to name it and have awareness of what exactly is causing you to have that craving. Now it could be any number of reasons, but sit down and think about it and find out why you feel like you want to go into that refrigerator. So that's one way, if that craving comes on you. That's one way, the first thing to do to deal with it. Put it in your awareness. And the second one is to delay it. Now, if you get that craving, don't act upon it immediately. Give yourself 15 minutes. Make yourself busy by doing something else. You know, wash dishes, go clean up the bathroom, you know, sweep the floor, do something. You know, do your knitting, or those of you that like to do that, and say to yourself, if I want this food, but I'm going to give myself 15 minutes, and then I'll think about it. And folks, it is true. After 15 minutes, the thought pattern has changed. Your mind isn't dwelling on that 15 minutes later. And those cravings, they don't hang around. They stay there for a short little while. They don't hang around. And I have found that to be true in my earlier days. You know, those cravings, with my smoking, as a matter of fact, I had read back then that those cravings don't last. You know, after 5 minutes, they're gone. Now, I just read do it for about 15 minutes, but it might be gone in 5 minutes. If you get up and just distract yourself from the thought, it might be gone. And another thing is they don't come back that often. You know, we know they come back more when you're still on the carbs and you're slowly reducing them. You know you can expect that. But if you do these things and you interrupt the brain signals that are going on, you won't have them. You won't have them right then and there. You might get them maybe again an hour later or something, and then you do the same thing. You name it, you delay it, and you replace, the third thing is, you replace the ritual. Let me walk around here. You know, if your ritual was like mine, when I'd sit in front of the TV with a good movie that I used to be able to find, I can't anymore. You know, it was a ritual. And it all started when I got dressed, went out, and went and bought my potato chips and dip. That's when the ritual started for the evening. You know, I'd have it all planned, knew exactly what I was going to do. It was going to be a good night. You know, I'd buy that dip, mix it all up, find my movie I want to watch, get myself some Diet Pepsi. Because you know I had to have diet soda. You know, God forbid. I get enough calories from those potato chips. But, and then, let's see where I am. And then, I would sit down. I was a happy girl. Start my movie and eat and eat and eat. And when I was at the worst of times, a family-sized bag of potato chips would be gone, along with all the dip. And I thought I was having a good time. That was my ritual. I didn't have those rituals every day, but the nights that I said I'm going to do it, it started early. And I looked forward to the ritual. But, you know, so we have to replace rituals like that. We have to find something else that will take the place of that. And the only thing that I can say, and I've told you 100 times, what's working for me is this channel. You know, I love to look at the comments and reply, and I love thinking about different things that I could do with the channel. And, you know, that's taking up my time and my mind and, you know, my motivation and all the things you say. It is true. That's what's working for me right now. But we know that once you get into ketosis, you're not going to have a lot of those carbs. I should probably walk a little faster. What time is it? So, you know, if you've done certain rituals for years and years and years, your brain automatically, it's like on autopilot. You know, you don't even think about it. You just go through the emotions that you've always done. You got to break that connection. Be aware of what's going on. Be aware of what's triggering you. And break that connection. The neurons in your brain, you know, they could rewire themselves to other habits. Healthy rituals. So number 4, folks, is make yourself a trigger bag. Now with a trigger bag, you could put your cheese, your eggs, your bacon, maybe some of that chopped jerky. And in that bag, or other low carb snacks, and in that bag, you could put a message for yourself, like a nice quote or something that will inspire you, something that you've heard that you've always connected with. Put it in that bag. And another thing you could put in that trigger bag is a picture of yourself. Maybe a picture when you looked your best. And so when you open that bag, you're gonna look at these things. Maybe you want to write a little note for yourself. So when those triggers start coming, open that bag. Open that bag, and it'll bring you back out of your own thoughts and your own cravings. You know, we're all smart people, and we just don't think about it. But if we start making ourselves aware of it, how these things are happening, I think we can be so much stronger. And I speak for me too, because these points I'm giving you folks, they're new to me too, and I think they're wonderful ideas. Number 5 is to get up and move. I didn't bring my water and my mouth is dry. Man, hate that. Get up out of your chair and move. Doesn't matter what you're doing. Move for a little while. Don't sit there, because that's all part of your old ritual. Get up and move. Just a little. It doesn't have to be a workout or a major walk. Just move around. Go down and check your mail. You know, I mentioned cleaning and things like that, Sit down and make a list of what you're going to eat tomorrow. Now, I never did that, but I think that's a good suggestion, to know what you're going to have, so you don't find yourself, getting hit with one of these cravings and not know what you're doing. But that's where the trigger bag comes in. List those things. List things that are going to help you, what you're looking forward to in life. But getting up and moving, just the same as what I said earlier, will break the craving. The cravings are short-lived, folks, unless you're really hungry. If you're hungry, that's a different story. We're talking about cravings. Another thing, 6, talk to it. Talk to it like it's an old friend. Hey, listen, Sally. We've been great friends for a long time. But I think it's time for me to move on. Now, you keep showing up here, knocking at my door, and I don't really appreciate that. You're going to have to move on, because my life is changing and you're not part of it. And I'm sorry, because you were my buddy for a long, long time. But I have to make some new buddies that are going to take care of me. Now, you see how it goes? I was starting to get emotional. Oh my God. That works. Just acknowledge it. Tell it you don't want it around no more. I love it. And the 7th one is what I mentioned about putting in your trigger bag. Boy, all the cars are gone already. Is to look ahead. That's number 7. Look ahead. Look ahead 15 minutes from the point where you had the craving, and visualize how you're going to feel after you eat that food. Are you going to feel bloated? Are you going to feel depressed about it? Are you going to feel like a failure? you know. And another thing to look ahead at, and I mentioned this in another video, is that visualization. You know, think it, feel it. Feel yourself being the slim woman or man you want to be. Or not even slim, if you can't get to slim, the healthy one. The healthy one that doesn't have carbs running their life. You know, the carbs are not the boss. You are. We are. You know, they could try to talk to us, but ultimately, we're the boss, not our cravings. And we gotta let those cravings know they're not in control of us anymore. I'm telling you this with passion because I feel it. I'm feeling it. And that's how you gotta get. You gotta feel it. You're in control. Never mind anything else. It's your body, you're in control. Even with all those terrible stresses. Those carbs, they're like, they are. Somebody mentioned demon carb, and it is. Because they try to come in and get you when you're at your most vulnerable. You know, when you're going through all those stresses. They try to come in and get you then. And they're good at it. They're excellent at it. Get us when we're down, when we're tired, when we don't have the strength to stand up for ourselves. And we give right into it. How many times? It's got to end, folks. It's got to end. And I think, oh, my mouth is sticking together. Whew. I have water in the car. I think these tips will help. And I hope they will help you. I know they're going to help me because just seeing how passionate I get, you know, I feel it. You got to feel it. You got to get angry. And you got to stand up for yourself. Folks, I got to tell you, yesterday one of those triggers were being tired. And I got to tell you one of my problems. A lot of nights, I'm waking up at 4:30 in the morning. And I'm not getting back to sleep. Between 4:30 and 5. And I think it's that cat that's jumping off the bed upstairs. And so a lot of these days I'm feeling tired. And that shouldn't be happening. You know, I'm retired. You know, I live alone. I go to bed at 10 o'clock. I should be able to get a good night's sleep and get up and feel refreshed every single morning. There's no excuses why I'm not getting that. Now somebody said, and I'm sure that it's true because I've heard several people say that when you get more energy, you need less sleep. But I don't think that's what's happening to me. I'm just feeling tired. You know, when I don't sleep till about 6 a.m. or 7 a.m. And, you know, I had mentioned this before, and somebody, and I don't know who said it, but somebody commented that maybe I should take magnesium glycinate or something like that. I don't know, but I'm going to look for that comment and try to do some research on that because, you know, I don't mind taking vitamin supplements and things like that, but I don't want to take sleeping pills or anything. I can't do that. No, I don't want to be on the medicine, that kind of pill. So, folks, if you know of anything that might help, you know, I put the earplugs in last night. That didn't help. I put it in at about 2 o'clock when I got up to go to the bathroom because I knew that cat would probably have to go to the bathroom at 4:30 in the morning. And I love animals, don't get me wrong. But I put the earplug in just on one ear and the pillow closed off my other ear, but I still heard it. So I'm dragging today. And I know I'm feeling so much better that I shouldn't be dragging today. That sleep is so, so, so important, folks. It's so important for you to have a good quality of life. You know, we got to do everything we can to make sure we get some good sleep. You know, our body rejuvenates and our muscles repair, and you know, that sleep is important. I know the days that I sleep good, I'm on top of the world. So, and then I'll be so tired tonight, I'll probably get a good night's sleep. But, so, tomorrow's gonna be a rough day. Tomorrow, I'm meeting up with my sister, and it's gonna be, and I shouldn't say this because I'm tired, and you know what happens to me when I'm tired, but I'm gonna try to do my walk in the morning before I go down to her house. But it's my nephew's birthday, and it hasn't been a year. I know a lot of you have been telling me about people you lost. It's hard, you know, and those are the kind of things, you know, it's pretty hard not to be triggered by that kind of thing. But I wish you all the best if you're going through that. And I don't feel like I'm gonna, you know, fail tomorrow. You know, but you know, we go through very difficult things in life, and as we get older, you know, more of our loved ones, one by one, pass away. I never even wanted to have that thought in my head ever. But now that I lost my mom and dad years ago, I still don't like that thought of losing my siblings or friends, close friends. I'm back to my car, folks. Thank you for coming along. Thank you. I'm getting more. Every day I talk to you, I'm telling you, I'm getting more subscribers. I tell you, I sit there looking at that, smiling, sometimes tearing up, because I'm just shocked. I'm shocked that you people are getting something out of it. And the wonderful things that you're saying to me, I can't thank you enough. It really motivates me. It encourages me. And, you know, I am where I am right now because of you guys. And God, of course. But, I shouldn't. I'm here where I am right now because of God and because of you guys. That's how I just say it. But, folks, I'll see you. Tomorrow I'll make a video. Yeah, that's what I do. Tomorrow is a video. I'll make a video before I head to my sister's. I love you guys. I'll see you tomorrow. Bye.